me and Eddie would set up shop. We'd pick one of our motorcycles to figure out, we'd say, well, something's wrong with it, so we had to fix it. And in order to fix it, we had to take it apart. So we would, do these little experiments of taking the motorcycle apart. We'd take the seat off, and I remember one time we even got the gas tank, and we started taking the engine apart and everything. It was like a little experiment we had to see how far down we could break down the motorcycle and put it back together and start it and see if it still ran. So I remember one time we had the motorcycle broken down, like the whole engine apart, and my dad come driving home from work and he seen me and Eddie out there with, we had both motorcycles completely almost dismantled, and we got in pretty good trouble for that right there. And then what Aunt Tammy wanted me to, or asked me to talk about, is the time that we got in a little bit of trouble with the local police.
And how old were you at that time, you figure?
I can't remember. I think we were probably about 4 or 5 years old. No, we had a little bit older. Maybe 6 years old at the most. But so like I said, during the summertime, we'd ride around all over the bayou on our motorcycles. Our JR50 one-gear dirt bikes, Suzuki. We thought we were pretty badasses on those things. So we're driving around, and we'd also try to see how far we can go without getting lost and everything. So we're hauling butt all over the place on the dirt roads down there, and we kind of made this little track that we went through. This guy's yard, we didn't know it, but there was no fence there or nothing, so there was a couple hills there that we like to go and try to hit and jump over. So we kept going all around the bayou doing the same. We made a little dirt trail that we do, and we would go all the way around the bayou and through this guy's yard. We didn't know it at the time it was the guy's yard, but we kept going through this guy's yard, all day long we're going through here. And one time, as we're going through, this old guy comes out and starts yelling at us, and we're like, and he's like, keep going, and I'm like, what is he saying to us? He's like, just keep going. So we kept going, and then we get a little, like half a mile down the road, and we stop and we're talking about it, and we're like, what did the guy want? He's like, I don't know, he was yelling at us. So we're like, all right, should we go back through? And he's like, it's not his, he don't got no fence up, so whose property is it? Any his property. So we went back around, and we didn't think nothing of it. So we went through the yard again, and then it started becoming a little game, because the guy, he was a little older, he couldn't catch us. So we started going through the yard a couple more times, and every time we went through there, the guy's yelling at us, screaming, and then it was a game, because he'd be like hiding, and he'd jump out, and we'd try to get around, and we're jumping hills and stuff. Now, we didn't tell the cops this. This is many years ago. But we didn't tell the cops this part of it. We just said he was a crazy old guy yelling at us. But, he's trying to catch us, and we're, driving around in his yard and stuff. So finally, we're riding around on our motorcycles pretty much all day, and we look up and we see this helicopter up in the air. That's it was odd back then to see a helicopter. And as we're driving around, we kind of notice that this helicopter is like following us. So we go down to my house, and my mom was, I don't know what she was doing at the time, probably taking a nap or something. And we went in and we said, hey Mom, look, we got this helicopter flying around for the last hour or so. This helicopter's been following us. She's like, whatever, no, that's not possible. Like, well, we don't know, but there's a helicopter up in the air, and everywhere we drive in the bayou, that helicopter's following us and watching us. She's like, no, she didn't believe us. We were only like 6 or 7, so we're like, all right. So we were afraid to go back and ride. But we're like, all right, well, she's probably right. The helicopter is probably not following us. So we go out and we get in the